peace, peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. In fact, about to do the tarot card reading for the whole month of June. Matter of fact, I missed May. I'm like, all right, I'm on point, things lined up, you know, to do the June reading. So this is going to be a reading for the whole month using the Feng Shui layout. Remember that prayer night and epidote, but definitely just the prayer night in general, is great for dealing with divination systems. So if you do natal charts, tarot card readings, tea leaf readings, any form of divination, you know what I'm saying, you want to tap into that intuition and have less of that logic, more from, you know, from a heart space. And just now, like, you know, I took the prayer night, put it across my heart. It's like, you know, this reading is coming from a, you know, from an intuitive, divine, feminine place, and not coming from a, you know, rigid, logical. Not to say that we're not using logic in essence, but, you know, just not being rigid about it, you know, allowing for a certain flow to come in. So, you know, that prayer night vibe, definitely. We're doing the Feng Shui layout. Let's get to this. You know. Matter of fact, I'm going to discuss the planetary movement somewhere after I pull the cards, because just to make sure that, you know, that doesn't influence the card, but I know how it works, you know, it all lines up regardless. So, you know, I'm going to do this Feng Shui layout. Got the, you know, the Rider-Waite deck, you know, which this card is being shown, that has some significance. But this card is the Seven of Cups. This deal with Venus. Let's see, Seven of Cups. Got Cardinal, Fixed, Immutable. Probably deal with not Pisces. Yeah, Pisces. If I'm not mistaken. Yep. The Scorpio is fixed. Pisces is mutable. So there's Venus and Pisces. So, like, you know, loving the material realm and connecting with the material realm from a dreamy aspect. But again, this card just happened to be at the bottom while I was talking about what deck I'm using, so I'm just showing y'all while I'm vibing with it. But again, the Feng Shui layout, if y'all not familiar with Feng Shui, you know, there's a certain Feng Shui or layout to your house, you know, or your living space. You know, like, let's picture this as like the front door, you know. We have certain energies that occupy certain spaces in our house. And I'm doing a card layout, which I switched it up. I ain't got these components, these 4 outer cards, but I'm using these inner 9 cards. You know, that's basically the layout. Let's get started. Make this too long. Matter of fact, it'd be as long as it needs to be, but you know. All right. So 5. 2. Alright, so as I was shuffling, 3 cards came out, and something told me to put, which I discussed, the Emperor is 5, the Ace of Swords is 1, and the King of Pentacles in a position of 2. So we already got those cards. Now I'm about to fill out the rest of it. You know, another thing too, when you're dealing with your tarot cards, like, you know, certain cards, what they call, you know, some people may call them jumpers or whatever, but you know, like certain cards jump out at you while you're shuffling. You know, have a certain energy about it. Get this together. Almost done now. Month of June. So again, this reading is connecting with the whole month of June. Let's get these cards out. You know what? So, let's get into it. Got the 9 cards. So you know what we're working with. So let's see. I'll tell you about the first 3 cards that flip. Now starting off with the reading, I start with the number 5 card, because the number 5 card is in the middle. It's dealing with you know, basically the balance in the center. So it basically like what affects their entire home. And you know, even in dream state, you know, like the home symbolizes the temple. Like, you know, we talk about the Temple of Solomon, you know, it's talking about the bodysuit. If anything in the Bible, in most cases, talk about a temple or a church or earth, you know what I'm saying? Because earth, again, as above, so below, as within, so without, you know what I'm saying? Like temples, you know, again, your temples, you know, in between the temples, you know, but anyway, that's where the pineal at also. But again, the stone that the builder refused, in essence, is the pineal, you know, the philosopher's stone also. But again, like the temple is the body, church, the body, you know, like it's all speaking to the body, the earth. And like even in the dream realm, I was gonna say, like, if you dream that you have a dirty kitchen, say for instance, and that's probably speaking on like something wrong with your digestive system, you know, within your body, or within, you know, the realm of how you know, allow people into your home. You're allowing people to, in some way, form, or fashion, I would go back to the digestive system in some way, form, or fashion. You know, if your library, you dream about a library being messed up in your house, then your thoughts are scattered, or you know, your intellect, or you're confused about something. You know what I'm saying? But it points to those energies. But all right, to the read. The number 5 space. Or the balance in the center. This affects the entire home. This is the Emperor card. Another thing too, you know, when dealing with the cards, you know, the major arcana, which is 22 cards, which are associated with the 22 Hebrew letters and the 22 pathways within the tree of life. You know, with the Emperor card represents, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I feel that the Aries energy, and it's obvious, you know, you can see it. But what it's telling us is in the center of June, like in this June time, like it's all about being, you know, head first about yourself and what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Because regardless, like, you know, even how I spoke to about having like North Node, South Node, like say for instance, let's just say like your South Node, like was Aries, meaning that your comfort zone is being in the Aries energy, you know. That still doesn't mean like so meaning that the realm you're unfamiliar with is the Libra realm of balancing things and kind of taking your time and dealing with, you know, codependency, not in a negative way, but you know, like dealing with relationships on that level. But that doesn't mean that you're not gonna use the Aries or Mars energy, or that number 1 energy, you know, or that red number 1 Mars, you know, Aries energy is that take action vibe, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, even if your South Node is Aries, again, like it's still some way, form, or fashion, our spiritual growth is always, like, again, just generally in our spiritual growth is always about making sure that, you know, we're taking care of ourselves. Even if, like, say, for instance, we might have nothing but Pisces, Libra, Virgo, like almost every sign that deals with trying to help the world and somebody else. But at the end of the day, the only way you're able to help others is by helping yourself first and foremost. So in June, it's helping us, you know, promoting the energy to be aware of that. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, again, he also kind of like his little sword thing is almost like an ankh, you know, representing eternal life, and that eternal life is facing up, you know. But the eternal life comes through taking that fiery action in alignment with, you know, what you love, you know, again, like in consideration of, you know, the me aspect in a healthy, you know, in a healthy manner, you know. Because again, our sole purpose in our journey right now is remembering ourselves, not letting somebody else tell us who we are, but us finding out who we are, you know, within our own means, you know. So again, being more assertive and pioneering, you it's going to be the center of your, the June aspect, Matter of fact, since I already pulled the cards, I can speak on that now. Like you got the new moon in Gemini, which is kind of creating a new way of thinking and communication. So again, like in essence, new ways of thinking and communication based off of your alignment with your inner being, what's best for you and what you line up with, again, considering self, that's also like the first house energy is how you, like your emotions about yourself, being headstrong and impulsive from your point of view, and not impulsive in a negative type of aspect. And also this is a major arcana card, so this is going to be the theme for the whole June, because again, the major arcana cards, again, the first, the 22 cards out of the deck are speaking to a longer period, like the other cards, the minor arcana may speak to like day-to-day situations in essence, but this, the major arcana speaks to like a strong resonance of energy throughout, a period of time. So that's going to be the strong point within this vibe, is making sure that the center, again, the center of everything you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, and what's going to balance things out for the entire home is you moving from a place of being in alignment with, your inner being, first and foremost in essence. And that's the read I get from it. Because, of course, again, that's another thing with these cards. Take what resonate, leave what don't. Don't try to force anything I'm saying into your realm, But, just from me pulling the cards and interpreting intuitively, I did my work. All I could do from here is be confident in what I'm, speaking on, and did my meditation. The next card deals with the Ace of Swords, and this is the one that hopped out early, and it's in the area of wealth, And Ace of Swords, that's the swords are the air, and even these little signs, it's almost like the Yah. When you think about Yad Hey Vad Hey, the four-letter name of God, Tetragrammaton, Yahweh, and again, that's the name for the essence God within this, realm of reality, not the primordial source or triple darkness, basically primordial Shakti energy. But the Ace of Swords speaking to, again, the new moon in Gemini, new ways of thinking, and communicating. Meaning, because again, the swords represent the air, the air also represents the words, and having a certain like crown and prestige about your words, your thoughts, and the way you communicate. And having that prestige about your words, your thoughts, and the way you communicate is going to bring in a certain level of abundance. Because again, this is dealing with the area of abundance. So within the month of June, you're again, like having a certain prestige to your words, thoughts, and ways of communication is gonna, bring, wealth and abundance. And again, we already wealthy. You already filthy rich. Like you're walking abundance. It is the moment that you trust that you are that walking abundance and that things can manifest. That's what we fail to realize. Again, when things manifesting for certain people, not realizing that it like in a paradoxical way, is detachment that allows for those things to come in. Is that surrender and understanding that, hey, the universe got me, so all I got to do is just do what I love, you know what I'm saying? But again, wealth and abundance, again, currency, just a physical representation of the current flow, the chi flow, and the energy that you are, you know what I'm saying? Just like we had the Dantian chakra that stored chi energy, whole aspect. Let me not go too deep. Again, the Ace of Swords, again, and this is going to be a theme, again, for the whole month, because also you have a full moon in Capricorn. And that full moon in Capricorn, emotions tied to authority positions, the way we deal with business and climb up that mountain, not only on a spiritual level, but also on a business-like level. Because again, the Capricorn energy is, somewhat the ego energy, how we present ourselves in the world, or how we, again, move up that mountain in the physical realm. Remember, no, the goat, the Capricorn also has that tail in the water, so connected to the subconscious and the feminine and the intuition still, but it's still like, you know, climbing up the mountain as well. But, you know, you see where that, again, that communication, because that Gemini energy is somewhat, to a certain extent, connected with that Cap energy as far as communication on a business and commerce level, you know what I'm saying? So, again, having a certain prestige about your words, your thoughts, and you know, the way you communicate. In the area of what they call fame, but again, we know fame, this is what affects our reputation. Our connection with the physical realm. This is King of Pentacles, you know. So our you know, in the month of June, our, you know, reputation in essence, like, or the energy that affects our reputation is dealing with, you know, being grounded. Matter of fact, the King of Pentacles, also you see like the little, it's like the little Taurus energy, the earthy energy, you know. And what I get from it, again, is like, because what throws me off sometimes with the reading is like hearing the word fame and reputation, and so subconsciously, you know, having it connected to reputation and fame, it's like chasing fame and reputation, but it's not from that, you know, context. You know, we're dealing with the Feng Shui vibe. It's just, again, like reputation as far as like how, you know, not from an egotistical aspect, in the sense of, you know, it's like being magnanimous, you know, like your reputation for embodying a certain energy, you know what I'm saying? But again, with that vibe, it's gonna be I'm just you know, kind of a better way to articulate this, and allowing for the reading to come through too. So it's like how grounded you are, and how, you know, because when you're not grounded in your experience, you know, you won't do what you have to do in order to, how can I say, like be in alignment with your soul purpose, because your soul purpose, in essence, like when I hear the word reputation, I think about, this affects like your, you know, the energy that your soul purpose gives off, in essence. You know, so in this month of June, like, dealing with your reputation, for lack of a better word, you know, it's about being grounded, you know, connecting with the five senses, you know, because again, the Five of Pentacles deal with the five senses, you know, the physical realm, you know, the energy of fire, or like when you cut an apple open, it got like a 5-star in it, in our Taurus field, Taurus, you know, and in Taurus, the zodiac sign connected with, you know, the energy, again, of the fire, the pentacle being in the, you know, the earthly plane, and the pinnacle turned upside down, just meaning bringing the higher energy to the physical aspect, or bringing the physical up to the higher aspect when it's pointing up. But it's just symbols that represent things, not good or bad, right or wrong, but, you know, just sharing on that. But again, with your reputation vibe, the King of Pentacles, being grounded in your experience and connecting from a sensual, five senses, you know, being grounded in your experience type of vibe will be what affects your reputation, in essence. And I'll get back to that, because I gotta find, like, you know, a better way to interpret that, you know, fame and reputation area. Next spot, relationships. Affects your relationships with your partner. Now, within this month, and this card, you know, I don't do reversals, but I'm learning to kind of do them in my own little vibe, because again, I don't use the book that this deck came with. But this is the Seven of Swords, you know, again, like this being in your thoughts too much and trying to micromanage your thoughts, could mess up relationships. And again, we got a full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorns like to overmanage things, you know, and Capricorns are pretty cold towards emotions, you know, and again, it's not to box yourself in as, oh, I'm a Capricorn, but you know, these energies that we deal with from our zodiac sign do have a certain resonance, you know. That's why knowing our natal chart does have a certain significance, you know, to learning who we are and, you know, building on our growth. But again, what's going to affect the relationship realm with your partner, and again, relationships on all levels, but definitely with your partner, you know what I'm saying? Whether, you know, twin flame, where you're connecting with your twin flame this lifetime, or, you know, just a, you know, soulmate that's not necessarily your twin flame, but whatever the case may be, you know, not letting your thoughts and overthinking, you know, and like being overly cautious about your words. Like, let your emotions flow, because sometimes we could bite our tongue, you know, and hide our emotions by being over logical and overly in our thoughts in our heads, like over analyzing. Because again, we also got new moon in Gemini, and then again back though with the full moon in Capricorn, you know, and emotions. And matter of fact, that's kind of like a clash in energy with the full moon in Capricorn, because the full moon deals with the Cancer. Cancer is like the opposing energy to Capricorn, you know. Cancer is that motherly, warm energy in the summer, and you know, Capricorn is that Saturnian, father time, cold, strict, you know, energy. So, but with the relationships, and it's simple, just like this, like again, not letting the thoughts, you know, the thoughts and the words disrupt the relationship, and being aware of that energy to not, like, again, to allow for you to express yourself from a more emotional place, and not try to be so rigid in your words and your thoughts, you know, because he's trying to control the situation instead of, like, you know, because think about it, he would be carrying like one or two he would be carrying enough of swords that he could handle. Seemed like he can't handle the load he got, and he looking back at these other two swords too, like, maybe I should pick up these too, and he already struggling. So it's kind of like a sign of, again, like, too much weight on the thought realm and the word realm, you know, being a little lighthearted with your thoughts and words, and speaking from an emotional place. That's what's going to affect your relationship in the month of June, you know. And this, you know, not necessarily the whole theme is a minor arcana, so like day-to-day aspects, it could, you know, come in and out for you, but it's definitely going to play a part within the June aspect. Next area affects your health, and this is the family area of the home in the Feng Shui format, and affects your health. And basically tapping into the emotional realm, you know, being strongly grounded in your intuition and your emotional energy, you know, is going to affect your health, you know, like, because again, we are basically, you know, we are the no thing on a human experience, but like, I was going to say, like, grounded in your emotions, in your intuition. I was going to say, because our health deals with, you know, energetic, like how we vibrate energetic, like how our energy feel, you know. So it's a metaphysical thing before it's a physical, but, you know, it happens on a vibrational level before it turns into a disease of the body. So, you know, say for instance, being healthy with our intuition, like having a certain trust, because this brethren, you know, got the red hat on, he grounded, he got his feet planted on the ground, squared up, arms crossed, you know, got the little balance, you know, and it's the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups deals with, this is going to be Pisces energy. So also, what's going to keep us healthy is tapping into the dream realm, you know, tapping into the dream realm, lucid dreaming more, you know, in essence, you know, having that vibe of, again, following intuition, but also helping others, because Pisces kind of got that, you know, helping others type of energy, you know, like, again, that Christ conscious energy, in essence. So, let me see which one it is for sure. Yep, and it's Jupiter in Pisces, so, you know, it's expanding in that intuitive area as well, you know, like expanding and growing, you know, not being rigid or afraid to tap into the intuitive energies, but more so, again, like, this deals with what affects your health. So it's having a healthy relationship with your intuition and your psychic flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, being more grounded and being willful to expand in that area and ground that intuitive energy into your experience. You know, keep up with the health. And that, again, speaking to the month of June, you know. Right now. Next card affects your ability to complete things. So this one, first thing I thought, tapping into the intuition again, you know, because the waters, you know, also subconscious realm, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the queen, you know, and the waters, you know, that's basically, even though it's not the Empress card, you know, the Queen of Cups, you know, again, deals with those waters dealing with the subconscious realm. So, again, affecting our ability to complete things. Same within this month of June, you know, we're going to be working on that subconscious realm, you know, making sure reprogramming the subconscious waters in a healthily manner, you know, and also she kind of like constructing, putting something together in essence, but, you know, she has like this, matter of fact, this is almost like a, you know, kind of like the Ark of the Covenant flow, like basically, like, she almost like cherishing her inner connection, because I would see this as like a representation, like the Eye of Pingala, you know, and the pineal, or, you know, that whole little, again, Ark of the Covenant vibe, which, again, the Ark of the Covenant could be seen as the open pineal gland, you know, again, just like the stone that David used to knock down Goliath was the Philosopher's Stone, you know, because the lower nature got big like a giant, like Goliath, you know what I'm saying? So you see those references. But again, our ability to complete things, you know, and it's also called the area, like this area of the house is called, you know, dealing with children and creativity, you know. So it's also, in that sense, like tapping into the subconscious realm and also being more like a childlike and creative, you know. I'm getting that vibe from it as well. You know, and again, this is affecting our ability to complete things. So, you know, tapping into the subconscious waters, and also, let's see, Queen of Cups, and yes, this deal with the Gemini and the Cancer energy, but mostly the Cancer energy, you know. So also what's gonna basically what's gonna affect, you know, our ability to complete things is gonna be our compassion, you know, towards what we're doing. So that's another thing, like in June, like, you know, lining up with things that you're compassionate about as well, you know, and that's essence, like, that's gonna like, say for instance, you don't finish things that you're not passionate about, you know, you're just passing and playing with it because you're probably not that passionate about it, compared to, like, you know, me doing my YouTube channel where I'm passionate about it. So, you know, I put in that work, in essence, you know, and completed that situation. But again, like with this, dealing with the Cancer energy, also saying, you know, having that compassion, or doing what you are compassionate about, or what you're passionate about, I should say. So, that aspect as well. Next area, the area of knowledge. And this affects your self-awareness. You know, it's another, again, the Two of Swords, which it was pulled in a reversal, you know. So, it's almost like saying in this month, like, don't let your self-mastery energy, like, try to over-control the situation. You know, like, so with knowledge of self-awareness, you know, we constantly learning and picking up on new things. And as we learning and picking up on these new things, sometimes we'll get into a place of wanting to micromanage it, you know. And again, like, I'm gonna put it upside, you know. And again, it's on the right side up, just this brethren is, you know, balancing out the air. You can almost say, like, with swords is thoughts, you know, and you could see it as right brain, left brain, but just a balance in general. You know, he's skilled with it. His third eye opening and using his two eyes, you know what I'm saying? And he mastering his thoughts, you know. But again, like, upside down, you know, then, you know, from my perspective, again, dealing with it, it's like saying be aware of trying to, you know, master your thoughts, or trying to master any aspect of yourself to the point of micromanaging. Because again, full moon in Capricorn, matter of fact, you got the moon behind him. Full moon in Capricorn, you know, your emotions be tied to, like, you know, what brings you comfort in essence. Because again, like, the moon, like the Cancer energy, the mama energy, what brings you comfort in essence for Capricorns is be controlling and micromanaging, discipline, you know, structure, being strict. You know, Saturn, STR, strict structure, you know, boundaries, you know. So what affects your knowledge of self and self-awareness, you know, is, you know, how rigid you are about your approach to, you know, knowledge of self. You know, as far as dealing with certain aspects of your growth, to not be too rigid. At least, again, that's where I get from. Excuse me, from what I'm reading from the, you know, from the card. On the next card, dealing with the the 8 of Cups, and this is in the area of career. This affects your life journey, you know, and also this area is like basically the area of, like, you know, the opening to your home, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, like, who's coming in and out of your temple in essence. But this is more so, again, speaking to what affects your life journey in the month of June. And this is speaking to, you know, again, being adventurous. Like, so in your area of, again, career, you know, what's going to affect your life journey, it's tapping in, like bird boxing, like, you know, tapping into that intuitive realm with these waters, you know, and see how this terrain, you got water, mountains, it's kind of like unknown, got the moon out, you know, representing that intuition. You know, he on a little hike, he got his little stick, his back turned, he going somewhere, he got his red on, so he, you know, being grounded in order to be courageous to go on this adventure, you know what I'm saying? But basically, again, just that theme of, you know, the paradigm shift in general, you know, in essence of stepping into the unknown and bird boxing and trusting your intuition right now, you know, and that's going to affect your life journey very strongly in the month of June, is how your ability to, you know, your ability to, in essence, because it also looked like this brethren, like, seeing like he not just on the regular journey, like seeing like he not turning back, like he not going back home in essence, you know. Like he going into unknown and into the unfamiliar places. And again, that red, having that courage and that fiery energy. Matter of fact, you know, back to the Aries energy, you know what I'm saying? That centers everything this month. You know, it's like about for self, you know, your own soul purpose and your own soul journey. You know, it's time to master the aspect of, you know, knowing thyself and knowing who we are as, you know, as certain beings and certain energies, you know what I'm saying? Certain levels of consciousness, you know, realizing who and what we are, but you having to step into that unknown, trusting your intuition, you know, and trusting that mama energy, you know what I'm saying? And stepping into that subconscious darkness or unknown. You know, let's see, this is 8. So it's also dealing with it's going to be the Pisces energy, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Pisces energy. And this is 8 of Cups. So yeah, this is Saturn. Saturn in Pisces. So, in essence, the card speaking to structure within the dreamer, because he's climbing a mountain, you know, like that Saturn or Capricorn energy. But, you know, also he kind of got like the waters and the moon or the intuition on his side as well, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, again, for the life journey, stepping into the unknown would be the theme. Again, minor arcana card, so you know, not a strong, but just a light theme throughout the month. Now, the last card, in the area of friends, quote unquote, so this affects your support network and benefactors. You know, it's the King of Swords, and let me show you that too. So, like, as the Feng Shui layout, basically like the corners of the house, basically, so the month of June is dealing with how you coordinate the air element, because this are the two bottom aspects, you know, the two bottom cards. So say for instance, a 9-card layout, so these the two at the bottom, they're both in the corners, so they got a card in between this. So these two at the bottom, 2 swords, and these 2 at the top corners. And some told me to point that out as well within the layout, you know. Because 2, that in essence, you know, 4, especially being in the corners, that's also the foundation. So the foundation of the energy of what we're dealing with within this, you know, June aspect, just having a mastery over our thought and word realm, you know what I'm saying? Because again, new moon in Gemini, bringing in new ways of communicating, thinking, you know, and tapping into that, again, that thought realm, that air aspect, and also, again, that magic energy as well, you know, affirmations, knowing how strong our words is. But that's the foundation of our experience in June, you know, in essence, is, you know, it's all centered. And what's funny is all centered around, you know, trusting, you know, we're going with your inner flow, your inner guidance, you know, being head first, you know, in a healthy manner, you know, as far as like, you know, a lot of us, again, we used to being in a society where we gotta like ask somebody, is this cool? Like, do you agree with my behavior? You know, like in essence, again, caring what somebody think, but it's like you gotta be like, you know, this June energy is helping us to, you know, again, be more in the divine flow of being ourselves. And again, a lot of what we're dealing with in order to master ourselves and have self-mastery is to master our thought realm. Because again, that's why everything be so much about meditation and being in the moment, like in doing certain things that eliminates all that excessive mind noise, you know what I'm saying? So it's mastery of that air element in June, you know, and not looking externally for, you know, of course, again, just like watching this video right now, of course we could get insights and things of that nature from external aspects, but again, only if it's resonating with you from a heart space, you know, where you just feel like your inner source or inner guidance brought you to this external book or video or whatever the case may be. And again, affects your support network and benefactor. You know, it's King of Swords, being sure. So, you know, like in that, in general too, like, you know, like think about it, like when we dealing with, you know, networking with people and just, you know, friends or whatever, like, you know, word is bond, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, Jimmy Bond, you know, James Bond, word is bond, my balls is my words, you know, 2-ball cane, 2 balls and 1 cane, and 2 connected to, you know, 007. You know, you draw the 2 O's, which are like the testicles, and then the 7 is like the phallus, you know, 007, or Jimmy Bond, or James Bond, word is bond, my Jimmy Bond. Like, you know, my, you know, ball is my word. Again, testimony, having testicles in order to testify. That's why most women in church, and I got a video where I spoke about like the court system in the church and like this word magic vibe, and again, like with the testimony, and you got to have testicles in order to testify. You have to have testes, a testicle, and you don't, but I'm talking about, you know, in the sense of where they come up with that word magic and energy behind that. But again, though, but back to what I was saying, you know, like being grounded in our words, you know, like the feminine aspect can display this energy, you know, as far as like being sure about your thoughts and your words, you know, because just because you're you know, a woman are connected to the feminine energy very strongly, don't mean that you're like, oh, I gotta be loosey goosey and never use any masculine energy ever. No, you know, it's a balanced aspect. We're just not letting the masculinity overrun things like how it has been, you know. But again, we're pushing it back some so it could be balanced, and we're not getting rid of the masculine energy, we're balancing it out. But, you know, again, even from a feminine aspect, you know, like with all of us, just as a being, you know, being sure about what you're saying, you know, like when you hear somebody like, I don't know about such and such, this and that, when you're going to be flimsy about that relationship, you're going to feel like, oh man, I can't, you know, so-and-so didn't sound too sure of themselves in that situation. Or when so-and-so say that this happened when they, you know, like speaking on a story or something like that, I could feel that, you know, like they wasn't, well, no, that ain't the same aspect in essence, but again, just being sure of yourself when you're speaking and because again, that masculine vibe, like this brethren right here, you know, he's sure of himself, bro. He got his sword up in the air, you know, feet planted on the ground, got his ready, grounded, bro. He ready to, you know, use this sword or these words, you know, use his words in this thought realm, you know, and also imagination, because that's another aspect too, in essence, you know, with the air element, kind of, it's somewhat, I would say it's like a water / air, like imagination is like the intuitive waters in the thought realm, having a baby in essence, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, but this brethren more so, again, the words is the sword, you know, you take the word, if you take words, you know, and put the S in front, you know, it becomes sword instead of words, you know. But this brethren, you know, again, like having a strong, fiery, sure of ourselves, masculine type of energy when dealing with our words and our thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Again, mastering our thought realm and our words, you know what I'm saying? And, again, this is going to affect the area of, you know, networking and benefactors. Because if I'm connecting with somebody and they see that, man, Universal not sure of, like, you know, the way he spoke on working on this project, bro, he didn't sound sure of himself. Then a person not going to, you know, want to network and work with you, you know what I'm saying? And as I'm speaking on this, remembering, you know, too, like, this is a part of our dream realm, you know, this is certain little aspects we're playing out, you know what I'm saying? It's always having awareness that, you know, this is the dream realm, but we are, you know, doing certain things. So when we start talking about business and certain things, we're not getting lost in the sauce of any of this. We realize that, again, it's in the, like, dealing with any quote-unquote business would be just being in alignment with our inner being. It'll be doing what we love and just turning it into something that brings in a current flow for us, you know. Like, so if I'm doing what I love, and I would like to sustain myself, so of course I'm gonna do what I love and allow for it to, create some type of sustainability within my realm of reality. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily chasing down no dollars. Like, nah, I'm gonna be in alignment. Trust that everything is gonna come to me from doing what I love, and as you start doing what you love and start trusting, that abundant flow comes to you. And from the outside looking in, somebody probably could say, "Oh, look at him chasing money, this and that." But no, what it all comes from is you being selfless and being in alignment first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? So that aspect too. But again, just being strong about the words. And I think this may deal with Aquarius energy. I don't know, but this does deal with Taurus and Gemini. So again, Taurus, just being strong, and not to stubbornness in essence, but just being strong and stern and grounded, within your energy, within the again, within the realm of thoughts, words, communication. So that's basically it. And remembering again, June 3rd, new moon in Gemini, new ways of thinking, communicating. I already got a video on that aspect. I won't do a video on the full moon in Capricorn until a little later, Now is a vibrate, that future exists simultaneously in this moment, but it's not in the moment for me to express it right now. But also something that's no coincidence, that full moon being in Capricorn and it being around Father's Day, June 17th or 16th, I think it's Father's Day. But that Sunday around that area is Father's Day. And matter of fact, the air element is like I say, the air element is like a masculine energy, because the air is a triangle going up, but then fire is a triangle going up. So again, masculine. No coincidence that each person on these cards with the swords, except for the ace, because it don't have nobody. You don't really see nobody, but all of them are of the masculine energy. So again, and this applies to the whole month of June. So, continuously watch this, to always get like a little recap on what's going on for the whole June. Coming back and checking out this video, because again, this is going to apply to the energies we're dealing with for the whole June. And again, this King of Swords, it's a major arcana card, so this is going to be a strong theme throughout the whole month. It's just being sure of our words and our thoughts, like being more decisive in that realm, being more grounded and more structured and sure of ourselves when when connecting with our words and our thoughts and communicate. And again, that's in the area of friends, so that affects our support network and benefactors, what I'm saying? Like I'm working on certain aspects of expanding, in my realm, dealing with certain people, matter of fact, product placement, which I got matter of fact, so even showing I got a product placement situation popping up in June. And matter of fact, shit, if it was right here with me, I'd grab it right now just to start off. But because I gotta get the promo codes. But again, those people are only dealing with me because they trust, that I'm sure, like I'm sure of myself with my words and my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be trustworthy enough in essence to, be allowed to do that product placement or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, with that being said, again, so, month of June, you know what I'm saying? And so many, even for the feminine aspect, so many words, my balls is my words, the testimony, you know what I'm saying? Being strong, the Jimmy Bond, the James Bond, 007, that brethren look. Like, I ain't going nowhere. Got my sword facing up, So, you know, facing these higher energies coming from a higher place, that's another thing they're speaking to too. You know, that's going to affect our relationship as far as with friends, or should I say, you know, again, affecting the support network and benefactors. So that's basically it. You know, and I did want to see if something more, because I felt like with the, again, with that fame and reputation vibe, you know, just finding a way to articulate that. Because again, we're not in this realm, you know, necessarily worried about fame and reputation. But again, the things we do give off a certain energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Buddha has a certain reputation in essence, whether that was a real, you know, being that walked through this realm in the flesh or not. You know, I'm not getting into that aspect of it. But again, you know, Buddha has a certain reputation. Like, you know, Haile Selassie has a certain reputation. You know, Dr. Sebi has a certain reputation. You know, Francis Cress Welsing, Henrietta Lacks, you know, all our different ancestors, you know, Shaka Zulu has a certain reputation, you know what I'm saying? So, not that it's looking for a reputation, you know, in essence, but, you know, again, what we do and deal with, you know, affects our reputation. So, again, you know, how we connect with the physical realm, you know, like in this month of June, how we connect with the five senses, you know, because, matter of fact, I say, for instance, how you connect with the five senses, you could be being undersexual, and that may affect your reputation, or over-sexual, and that may affect your reputation, or, you know, you're eating too much, or you're not eating enough, you know what I'm saying, that may affect your, but it's dealing with aspects of, you know, the five senses, the earthly plane, being in this physical realm, you know, dealing with aspects of, again, enjoyment of life, you know, like, connecting with that aspect, almost somewhat of the Venus aspect, but, you know, in an earthly realm. But that's basically it. What that is again. And matter of fact, and to it now, it makes a little more sense too, because all right, and this deals with the Taurus energy in essence. So it's also about being trustworthy, you know, like, because Taurus, again, being grounded and trustworthy, you know, having patience, being affectionate, and being persistent in your aspect of luxury, like loving the life of luxury. Again, just loving, you know, the physical aspect of our existence, not being attached to it and not putting it before your you know, your soul. But again, like, realizing, like, you know, like, the spiritual, the physical, spiritual, like, you know, it's a blessing to be, you know, in general, you know what I'm saying, like, and not frowned upon, or, you know, like, it's just not for us to get lost in the sauce of the material realm, you know, and let the material realm run us. But again, like, trustworthy, patience, being affectionate is what is going to affect your reputation in essence. So that's going to be the focus again in the month of June. I digress. Matter of fact, don't forget, if you're you know, you're vibing with the channel, you know, like and subscribe. You know, also, you know, any and all donations is greatly appreciated. I got the donation link underneath mostly all of my videos. You know, any and all are appreciated, and even if not, you know, it's all appreciated regardless, because again, I'm doing this out of what I love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over 1,000 videos in this, you know, and you know, I probably didn't see any revenue from this until about video like 400 or, you know, further down, like, but long story short, you know, it's just been out of love, you know what I'm saying? and and doing, again, doing what I love. So again, all support, all donations is greatly appreciated. Also, my Instagram page is Universal Frequencies as well, because I also do live videos on my Instagram, and again, to each his own, but because I've been unplugging a lot too, but you could just have an Instagram, because also as low-key getting the website together, but as I'm doing that, still for now, again, if you're looking to connect with the jewelry, any of my handmade pieces, necklaces, bracelets, for now, as far as what I'm working with, follow me on Epic Lifestyles on Instagram, and that's how you connect with me on that level, but again, just plugging in all of the plugs. Again, I trust that the universe got me. So as I'm saying this, it's not like, I hope they give me a donation just by me saying it. No, it's like it's inner being expressing, like, hey, express this, because you should sustain yourself and speak up, on this situation. But again, it's not looking for anything in return. Because if I was looking for anything in return, I wouldn't have did this video unless somebody gave me money first. You know what I'm saying? But here it is, I sat here, and then that's when you start to see, like, all the hours you put in, because, how many 2-hour, 1 hour, 3-hour videos, 50-minute videos I got, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't like, here this money to do this video first, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you know what resonates with you, on your soul purpose, and what is your soul purpose, is, things that you just do on a high level and never ever look for, like, some type of, like, something to come back to you. It's like, bro, this is what I fucking love. Like, I can sit around here and talk about spiritual aspects and just, certain little philosophies all day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Alan Watts say, and if that's what I love to speak on, any sensible person would like to make sure that they're being sustained from doing what they love, you know what I'm saying? So, just all in alignment. But that's basically it, y'all. Peace. Happy now. Now's a vibrative course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, y'all.